Hello guys, welcome to the channel, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're all doing okay. It is obviously your boy Zal here, back again with a brand new reaction video in a way. Again, I mean, it's going to be part 3 of this little mini reaction series we got going on with Warframe lore. And I thought, you know, the reason I should do this is because I really realised that I have no clue. I have no clue when it comes to Warframe. I think we can change the hair colour of our operator as well. I'm thinking silver. In the hair. Not sure why, honestly. More like a silverish streak, but maybe we can't. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, I think. Ah, no, wait. So we want this quite black. Yeah. And the hair highlight we want silver. That's what we want. There we go. Hair part. Yes. Perfect. I like it. Alright. Kind of. Yeah, she looks kind of gothic. We might have to go back and change that, but hey. So, what is this video about? This one isn't reacting to YouTubers' sort of lore videos or anything like that. Obviously, if there are ones out there that you feel I do need to react to, let me know. Let me know. I would love to obviously react to them and learn a bit more about the 10 ways. Learn a bit more about what's happening here. And we have also raised in subscribers from the lore videos, the lore video reactions. So thank you guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you are enjoying it here. You might have to go back and look through some of the older Warframe videos, because obviously we've come all the way up to here from literally playing, well, recording the first ever episode when we came out the little cryopod, I think it was, or something like that, I'm not sure. We've obviously done the second dream quest, the war within. It's worth looking at. It's worth going back and looking at. Check out the Warframe playlist. That's for you. That's for you. But yeah, we got about 780 subscribers as of today, which is awesome. Now, I never like to put exactly how many subs I've got on here, but just in case you fuckers decide to unsubscribe en masse, and then this is no longer indated. Oh, the dread is ready. The dread is ready. I can't wait to use that in the next episode. That's going to be awesome. But I have been asked by you in the comments to react to a Leverian lore, or a Leverian cinematics, or yes, Leverian something. I might even be saying that all wrong. Ah, no, wait, where was it? What's that? Leverian. Yes, that is what we're after. So the Leverian is a kind of museum which you get to go through all the different frames, and it kind of tells you all about it, which is pretty cool. I like that. Ooh, there's not many here, is there? I thought there would be a lot more, but that's fine. We might actually be able to get through all of them now, and we've also got a Vara. So I think we did Atlas a long time ago, but I don't think I kept it in the video, or if I did, I just didn't understand it. So let's take a look at Atlas first of all.
Feel free to look around. All donations are appreciated.
Oh, it's me. Oh, I've got no hands or legs. Can I? Yeah, this looks familiar, because as I say, I'm pretty sure I did the Atlas one. This art's pretty cool, isn't it?
This is Atlas, hard as stone. Is it any surprise that his story begins with an asteroid? Temple Telemann had cast a spell on the indentured masses with a song that heralded the coming of a great stone destroyer, a god who would shatter the world and lead them to a great rebirth. The Orokin mocked the cult's off-key singing, their spasmodic dancing, but the spell only grew stronger. Telemann broadcasts would oft-times wedge into control channels to spread their doomsday message. For the suffocated lower castes, the notion of something more powerful than their Orokin masters must have been intoxicating. A brutal Orokin crackdown seemed to be working, until an asteroid was detected on a collision course with Earth. The Telemons celebrated it as prophecy writ true, divine intervention. For the first time in living memory, the Orokin showed vulnerability. It did not matter that the destruction would be total. For the Temple, this was a sign of a new age.
That's really cool. That's really cool lore, actually. I like that. That's crazy. That's awesome. So a cult was singing about a stone destroyer, which obviously would have been Atlas. A god that would shatter the world and lead them to a great rebirth. I like the bit where it says the notion of something more powerful than their Orokin masters must have been intoxicating. Because remember, the Orokin they were pretty tough. They were pretty tough on the people. So having someone tougher than them in their eyes, that must have been some hope. Some hope. They obviously brought in a brutal regime by the looks of it. A brutal Orokin crackdown seemed to be working until an asteroid was detected. Wow. Okay, so I imagine we're going to learn more about this. Where did it hit? Celebrated its prophecy. Ah, okay, so they didn't care if it wiped out everybody. They just knew that their god was sort of coming. That's so cool. Alright. Yeah, it would have been pretty cool to have Ballas read these out. Maybe?
You think you can defy me? Not even your Tenno Devil can defy.
I'm not sure, actually, because maybe Nen would have taken away from Ballas. I think from what we hear from Ballas and all the stuff that his... Can we jump off this? No. And all his wisdom and his voice acting is so good. But I think if we actually did put him into Leverians, maybe it would have been a bit too much. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we would have grew sick of it. I wouldn't have. I quite like his voice, but I don't know who the person is who's telling us this stuff, though. Okay. Atlas Shikoro helmet?
A probe was sent to the asteroid, perhaps seeking proof of divine intervention. It found intervention, though it was anything but divine. The rock had been fitted with colossal steering thrusters, and manning those thrusters, a bevy of well-armed Telemen.
Oh.
Having taken fate into their own hands, they set about a final convulsive dance aboard that rock. Battle cruisers, Orgon missiles, a gale force of Dax. The Orokin could have resolved this in any number of ways, but their enemy was not the Telemans themselves. It was their ideas. Atlas alone was sent. As he crashed onto that rock, his Shikiro helm greeted the cultists. Note the angled ballistic plating and reinforced neck protection. He would soon need both.
Ah, so is Atlas against the Telemons or against the Orokin? Because I thought he was the asteroid, but clearly not. A bevy of well-armed Telemon, who are... So they're dancing on this asteroid, rejoicing. Do they believe the asteroid is a god, or has Atlas come from the asteroid? I'm sure we'll find out in the next bit. That's a nice helmet, though. I think I've only ever seen Atlas in-game once. Someone playing him once. Tableau of Telemon?
For years, historians felt this tale of Telemon quite improbable, an artifact of Orokin propaganda myth. Then, on our system's outer edge, we found a debris field of small rocks and dust in a lazy elliptical orbit. Upon these rocks, we find the remains of peculiar stone statuary. The petrified figures, clearly temple members, have been frozen into a tableau of struggle and death. Or was it perhaps a dance? This remarkable find forces us to rethink the entire tale as fact.
So Atlas was sent by the Orokin? Was this before they turned on the... What is it? The Entrati Council? Council of Executors, sorry. Council of Executors, that's what I'm after. Did the Orokin send Atlas? I don't feel I'm being stupid, because this I'm not going to click it again because it makes him speak up again, but so far I'm reading things as they come. I'm sure we'll learn by the end. I'm sure we'll be told. Maybe that's how they're doing it. What the hell is this? Oh, Sayandana? Is it Sayandana?
The stratum cyandana, reserved and austere, until you turn it over and reveal the glowing hue of the amethyst crystal within. A breathtaking geode. Imagine its spiraling ribbons as Atlas tore toward the killer asteroid's thrusters. His plan must have been to reorient them and push the rock away from Earth. But, as the story goes, as he neared, the cultists detonated the thrusters' footings and sent them careening into space. They were no longer needed. Mass and inertia would carry the rock to its fate. Atlas was out of options. Or so the Telemans thought.
I see. Okay, so the Telemans have, in a way, summoned this asteroid. Whether it's by coincidence or not, who knows? Who knows? To me, they are what's being described as just cultists, so they have their own ideas, their own religion, to an extent, and they believe that this new god is coming from the asteroid, which is fair enough. It's fine, and I guess the Orokin sent Atlas to stop the asteroids, because I guess what good is... I guess the idea was hit rock with rock, maybe? Stoppable force against an immovable object, maybe? Techo.
The Techo are perhaps my favorite pieces in this gallery. Note the intricate, ornate moldings, the complex blades. Quite the contrast from Atlas's otherwise workmanlike appearance. The beauty and craftsmanship conceal the true purpose of the Techo, as indentations found in cultist skulls attest. I have to wonder what frenzied dance would have been interrupted, or if the whiplash strikes and jabs of the Techo might have blended into the crowd's fitful celebration.
Jesus, yeah, that is a pretty morbid melee weapon, isn't it? Because it's not like it's too sharp on the ends. Or maybe a little bit, maybe with the pointed bits. Maybe those are, yeah, I think those are sharpened blades, actually. Rusty sharpened blades and damaged, but... Ooh. Yeah, getting indented with just the middle bit would hurt. Okay. This is cool. I like these. Thank you for recommending these. Rumblers. Okay. Oh.
Before you, a rare sight. 2 rumblers, painstakingly recreated from fragments of the aforementioned tableau. How these inert and rigid formations are compelled to life by Atlas defies reason. Yet it is true. Consider the confusion of those Telemans as the very stone they worshipped came to life and set upon them. How could they retaliate against such a thing? Like sparring with a landslide.
It's very true, yeah. God, imagine like worshipping something and believing in something so much that you use it to try and get to or overthrow your masters, but then, or your betters, or the people in power, and then realize what you've worshipped comes to life against you. That must be a hard pill to swallow. That must be difficult. And there he is, Atlas himself. Look at that. He does look a lot more agile than I would like him to be, I feel. I think they could have been... I'm not thinking like a Grendel figure or a Rhino figure, but I don't know. I feel like they just could have made him a bit more robust, especially around the abdomen. He seems quite agile, but maybe that's his whole spick.
Earth swelled on the horizon as the cult mocked Atlas with their chorus, "The stone shall shatter all." Across the system, every Teleman echoed that final hymn. Children, as far as Neptune, turned their heads from greasy broth and gazed toward Earth. Would that careening stone change everything? Atlas kneeled down, head and hands pressed to the ground in apparent defeat as the Telemon's hymn grew even louder. But Atlas was listening, feeling the way the stone trembled to the hymn's pitch. The faults within the asteroid became vivid to him, and so a new song rose up. Rumblers, erupting in a godlike rhythm, beating along the faults until Atlas, alone, struck the final resonant chord. A tremor forked through the rock until, all at once, the great asteroid exploded, its dust falling as scintillating rain, sparking across the atmosphere, and then gone. The Telemon's song fell silent, and children, as far as Neptune, turned away and swirled their spoons in greasy broth.
As away with the words, this guy. That's incredible. That is a story, wow. So these Leverian tales, I guess, show not only lore and the backstory to a lot of these warframes, but kind of show you everything. That's really cool. I like the back. Not like that, you sick fucks. I just like to look at the back. Alright. Jesus. But wow. I like the fact the rumble is sort of erupted in a godlike rhythm. So did they beat along? I guess they kind of smashed into the asteroid, just beating it, and then but to like a rhythm, to like a song of its own. And Atlas struck the final chord. Wow. Gosh. Well, I don't know what to say to that. That's crazy. Okay, well, who's next? I don't want to view... Yeah, let's view... Oh, no. No.
Welcome to
the... No. How do we exit? Ah, there we go. So, we're not going to get through all these in one video. It's already been 20 minutes. All this is going to be edited, because maybe I talked crap a lot. By the way, have you noticed something different? Have you noticed some differences? That's right. New specs, new frames, ladies and gentlemen. They're a little bit bigger. They're a little bit bigger than my other frames. My other frames, they were obviously the old faithful with little orange. You know, they've been here since day one of the channel. But yeah. No, I'm hitting. What am I hitting? I don't think they are. Are they much bigger? Oh yeah, no, they are so much bigger. But I like them. I really like them. Prefer having the bigger frame, even if it might look slightly too big for my face. I feel like more, you know. I feel it gives a more. What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? More inquisitive look, a more gamer-like, so to speak, more YouTubic. One would say, maybe. I like them. I like them anyway. I like the matte effect. Anyway, Grendel. Now this is a frame that I really don't know much about. So I'll be looking at this frame completely... Well, most of these actually. Yeah, in fact all of them, bar maybe Avara. But, you know, I could use some educating. Because I know Grendel's still quite new.
The Leverian exists thanks largely to the donations of patrons such as yourself. Please leave a little something.
I don't know if I can I? I didn't see anything, and when I thought I was at a box, it didn't allow me to do it. Alright, let's pay proper attention the first time, so I haven't got to read this 1,000 times. I'm, as a guess, he's either again a part of a cult, part of some kind of Grenier contraption, or slight ties to the infested.
Grendel, primal, insatiable, and, as this exhibit will demonstrate, a creature of surprising compassion. After the fall of the Orokin Empire, a surviving Orokin executor, a violet-scented brute named Karish, lorded over Europa's frozen, famine-struck city of Ridda. Save within his walled manse, the moist and loathsome Karish lived a lavish life, while his frail citizens obeyed every edict in the hope of receiving his pre-masticated table scraps. As the city starved beneath him, Karish commanded yet another feast for himself and his gluttonous sycophants. 12 courses for each of his 12 grafted digestive sacs, and one uninvited guest.
That story was slightly different to Atlas's. I think Atlas gave more detail at the beginning, but hey, I'm not here to judge this, because this is cool. What is that? Maseta?
There remains a shallow trench through the ruins, as if some colossal boulder had crashed from the manse and rolled down the hill, But what if it had rolled up? Imagine, if you will, Karish's Dax on the day, peering out, dumbstruck by what they saw. They readied no blade, sounded no alarm, as the expanding orb of gristle hurled toward them. And then, in a spasm of giblets, Grendel was before them, his cutlery in hand. The Masseter.
Jesus. Who makes frames like this? Why does this exist? That is a... I want to say two-handed mace, but you never know with Warframes. I mean, could be one-handed. It's strange looking. It almost kind of looks like platforms in maybe like a Star Wars movie or something. You know what I mean? I'm just looking too far into it though. Ooh. Yeah, because it's blunt on some bits and it has those weird spikes, but even they seem quite blunt on the end. So a lot of blunt damage, I would imagine. A lot of blunt damage. Wow. Okay. The fuck is this? Oh, Sayadana again?
Scraps of cloth matching Grendel's unexpectedly elegant Sayandana were retrieved from the site, hooked on the remnants of gilded gates, stained with evidence of his degustation. Indeed, most of the Orokin hangers-on who attended the feast became it. And
Right.
Karish himself fled shrieking into the hills of Ridda as fast as his 12 exosac levitators would carry him.
I see. Okay, so Karish isn't Grendel, or has anything to do with Grendel by the looks of it. But Karish is quite a large gentleman. 12 exosacs, so... Man's got to be quite hungry. He's got to be quite hungry. Do these Sayadanas actually do anything bar be cosmetic? Because I know my Wukong, I've got his, and yeah, I think it is just cosmetic. Maybe I answered my own question. Ancient allies. What the hell is this? Does that go onto the face?
It came as no surprise to me to find this tiny fragment of Gauss just outside the city. Indeed, if one thing is for certain, wherever we find evidence of Grendel, we're sure to find some trace of Gauss as well. Did they breach the city as a pair? Or did Gauss hang back to intercept returning patrols, generously letting his friend Grendel eat his fill at the feast within?
Okay. So you're working together. Okay.
Note the open face, almost more like design. A fitting visage for one of such singular, rapacious predilections. Grendel may hunger, yes, but not with the excesses of gluttony, not when others are in need. Oral history tells of Grendel, newly engorged from his repast, rolling through the miserable slums of Ridda, reinvigorating the sick and the lame, the hungry and the dying, with the power he had stolen, consumed, from their oppressors.
That's cool. So he rejuvenated them or fed them by devouring the Orokin? Some of the Orokin, anyway, in that city. Oh, I wonder how he does that. That's, I'm sure we're gonna learn. Maybe? What the fuck is this? What is this? What is this?
Here we have shattered fragments of the manse wall, and the gate, mangled by Grendel's Masseter blade. One can almost see the city's masses, newly rejuvenated by Grendel's healthful blessing, storming the manse. Shattered gates thrown wide, they take back what was theirs, namely, control of their future. See here the scattering of genuine Orokin dinnerware. Worn with time, these must have been used for countless meals as the people of Ridda bravely weathered the dark times ahead.
Wow. Okay. There he is, the big boy himself. Wow. It is slightly rhino-like, just with the head, but I think...
Many warframes have speed and litheness, but power, momentum, impact, these require mass. And there, the creased midsection, the seam, does it split? Yawning open with a jagged, vacuous aperture to who knows? A certain Orokin may have found out. That night, the people of Ridda ate their fill, feasting until the frozen mountains lit warmly with the dawn. It was toward those roseate peaks that the Executor had fled, pursued by Grendel. What his fate was, I cannot say. But as the people feasted, so the story goes, they were suddenly struck silent by a strange, deep sound. A rumble carried from mountain to mountain. A single, satisfied belch.
Oh, something tells me that our friend who is a-running got eaten by Grendel. That's what that tells me. It's a shame you can't see much of his stomach, because there is... Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of his powers is to use that to eat something and gain power from it, or gain something from it. Wow. That was a slightly smaller story than what we had from Atlas. I don't really know... I'm assuming when he says make a donation, he means if I view related, I can buy some stuff. I can just buy him straight up for 325. That might be worth it at some stage, because apparently... Well, not for that much, obviously. Maybe I should just get... Is there a Prime Grendel? I don't know. But apparently he is very difficult to acquire. Very difficult. Some boring colours, though. Okay. Well, I think... How many have we got left? We'll do one more. And this is going to be a two-part series, guys. I know. Oh, there she is. There she is. And we have her, ladies and gents. We have her. She's ready. She's ready in the foundry. The old oven timer has gone off, and Ivara is ready. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But let's learn about my new frame.
Ivara, the Huntress. This tale comes to us from the secret history of the Orokin court by the historian Porvis.
Okay.
Have you perhaps heard tell of the Myrmidon? No matter. A preternatural beast figure straight out of myth he was. One whose prey had no equal. Warframes were what this villain hunted. It is said a number of frames had been erased from history by this monster. Models who no longer exist on any record.
Wow.
Those who are not remembered. It hardly seemed possible that a single person could stand against a warframe, let alone destroy it, let alone several. Perhaps Porvis enjoyed the telling a little too much, or perhaps there is something to it. Ivara encountered the Myrmidon quite early in her history. Quite early indeed.
Okay. Well, developers, I think you can do a lot with the Myrmidon. A little quest, maybe? A little quest to find some fragments of this old frame? That's not something you haven't done before with Limbo and the other thing, which I can't remember. Chroma? Chroma. I say Chroma. I believe it's Chroma. Okay, so she hunted the Myrmidon? See, that's the cyan. That's the cyan, Dana.
A Dax emergency call, so Porvis writes, led Ivara and two unknown warframes to a convoluted cave system. They found it littered with the bodies of murdered Dax and resplendent with bioluminescent fungi. I imagine the chitinous folds of her Salic Cyandana would have made for excellent camouflage within that malevolent, supernal glow. The secret history tells us that the Myrmidon appeared boldly before the three in a wide chamber connected by many tunnels. clad in red and gold armor,
Okay.
it gestured to the first Warframe with what Porvis describes as a strange clutching motion, as if seizing a falling apple. But it was no greeting, as we shall see. The powers of that first Warframe, the recipient of that gesture, promptly failed. The Myrmidon took advantage of the confusion to leap upon the hapless frame and press a palm to the warrior's head. In lurid detail, Porvis describes a flash of the most scintillating emerald light, and Ivara's battle sibling collapsed to hot dust.
Christ, okay. See, I do like these laws, I like them. But you do have to pay attention just because of the way they're told. There's so much detail in them. Maybe a bit too much. Maybe. Kind of goes a bit off track.
Porvis tells us he compiled much of this tale from overheard exchanges between members of the Seven and details that remain consistent in courtly whispers. He tells us the second frame suffered the same fate as the first. Reacting, Ivara whirled and promptly vanished. But one clutching gesture in her direction and Ivara's powers fled. Her cloaking field nullified. Visible, vulnerable, she loosed a dash wire arrow to a high alcove, but it never came. No escape. The Myrmidon was upon her. The huntress spun, opening fire with axamati pistols to send that devil scrambling for cover, arm thrown protectively across that twisted, armored head. That clutching gesture was the key. Ivara needed a plan, and she needed it fast.
Yeah, so the clutching gesture must nullify and disable the frame's abilities? Obviously the weapons would still work, but anything she tries to do just doesn't, and that was what happened to the first two frames. So really it wasn't like fighting a Warframe at all, it was just like fighting your standard Orokin soldier, maybe? That's what I get from it. That's what I get from it. Hopefully I'm on the right tracks. I have a feeling I'm building those, or I'm looking to build those. Our guild, I'm pretty sure there is a blueprint for this, but you need to be Mastery 8. I'm Mastery 7. So we might have to get it halfway through leveling Ivara, Via, Armor, and Rubico.
Ivara ran at a wall, and up it, hanging there, waiting, as the Myrmidon flipped into the room, blasting the spot where he'd expected her to be. Frustrated, he again made that same elaborate gesture, trying his luck, and she saw it. That bracelet upon the wrist that glowed softly with the movement of that clutching gesture. Ivara flipped from her perch, shouldering her exquisitely crafted Rubico as she did so, and sighted the enemy. Through the Orokin sculpted scope, Hunter and Huntress met eye to eye, each loosing a desperate blast. A bullet from Ivara, a killing light from the Myrmidon. The green light lashed, touching a shoulder plate of Ivara's Avia armor, reducing it to dust. It saved her. Huntress won out, her shot claiming the Myrmidon's device in a shower of sparks. But the Myrmidon's weapon remained lethal, and with it, he lashed out at Ivara in an emerald fury.
Her shot claiming the Myrmidon's device in a shower of sparks, but the Myrmidon's weapon remained lethal, and with it he lashed out at Ivara in an emerald fury. Okay. So she destroyed whatever was nullifying the ability, so now Ivara should be pretty powered up.
Ivara hit the ground and sprang into a surrounding tunnel. The Myrmidon's shot lancing a gouge in the porous chamber wall. Ivara pressed her back to a shadowed outcrop at tunnel's end, while the Myrmidon's weapon blazed and cut and chewed through her only cover. As good a time as any to discuss the weapon before you. The Artemis bow. The Huntress's signature weapon, and the tool with which she has wrought so much good. Said by some to be spirit bonded to her. Others say the product of forgotten Orokin technology. What Porvis tells us next displays to good effect what warrior and weapon were capable of. Pinned behind eroding cover, seconds from death, Ivara summoned her Artemis bow, and it came to her. She and weapon as one. Without rising, she pulled back, aimed high, she and arrow as one, and loosed. Under Ivara's guidance, the arrow turned its path and shot down the corridor toward the Myrmidon, and lengthwise through his weapon. Around Ivara, the walls flashed green for a microsecond as the Myrmidon's weapon erupted. And then, silence.
I wonder if she took him out. Okay, I wondered because I didn't know if this was like a like your primary weapon, but I have a feeling probably not, because we've built Dread and we've got that ready to claim. I have a feeling this is similar to Wukong's bow staff, so where you can have another melee weapon, but as soon as you press, is it 4 or 5 on PC for the ultimate? I'm gonna say 4 for now. I could be massively incorrect. Feels like 4. And then you summon Wukong's bow staff, and you don't use the other melee weapon. So I'm imagining that's what that is. We'll have to check when we get back to the ship. But oh, I'm so excited to claim her. I cannot wait. Arrows.
What is a bow without arrows? And these arrows. The origin system has never seen their like, able to change their very nature at the whim of Ivara. Sleep, cloaking, rapid fire, they are the embodiment of her legendary versatility. Ivara drew her bow again, this time for her fallen comrades. With inhuman speed, shot after shot snapped and plucked each segment of carapace from the Myrmidon's lean frame. Straps severing, clips popping, he was undressed with swift efficiency by the preternatural accuracy of her aim and rapidity. Even before her final arrow belted the visored helmet from his head, she had the killing shot knocked and ready. There he stood, the Myrmidon, slayer of warframes. Naked, beauty, symmetry, even the capacity for language, sacrificed for raw power. But his face was a mockery of an Orokin face. Those she was sworn to never kill. The smirk on his pallid, angular visage told her he knew it as well.
Okay, he's an Orokin, but is he an Orokin? It sounds like I'm going to go with he is, especially looking at that. So why did she swore never to kill them? Oh, sorry guys, I need to take a minute. I need to take a minute here. I can't wait to have this. Behave. Honestly, this is amazing. I'm going to rush past that side because you guys are going to bully me. This is awesome. Oh, I can't wait. So we've done what? We've done Excalibur, Rhino, Valkyr, Wukong. I realised Wukong was a huge jump from Valkyr, by the way. And Ivara. Ivara has the 5th frame. Ah, what a grind. That sucked. That grind sucked. If you want to see that grind, by the way, it's there. But I was a destroyed man. Right.
The grand doors of the Chamber of the Seven flew open. Across that reverberating expanse of polished darkness strode Ivara, dragging her prize. Before the assembled council, she dropped him, and with it, the Myrmidon's battered helmet. Here he would meet justice at the hands of his own people. Here, her fallen friends would be avenged. She beheld the Seven, awaiting their judgment. The Myrmidon got to his feet, cleaning dust from one shoulder with a contemptuous flick. One of the Seven leaned forward, removing a curious thing from their slender head, a lattice of delicate silver, placing it on the elevated, chest-high curve of obsidian. that separated her from them. Instantly, the Myrmidon collapsed, lifeless, to the floor. Ivara did not understand. Why? Why? A stately voice intoned her name. There stood Executor Ballas. He told her, "You have been battle and loyalty tested. Your companions, they were found wanting. They failed to adapt, failed to overcome, and so they are no more. But you, Ivara, you shall live. You shall be remembered." Her battle comrades, as we know, were not.
Holy... Okay, I'm so excited to play as Ivara. So some of these lore and some of these stories are before the Warframes or the Tenno slaughtered the Seven? Because they did slaughter the Seven, right? I'm going to have to go back and watch my part 2 lore video. This must have been. Because it did make me wonder why she didn't want to kill him or her or whatever it was, the Orokin, Myrmidon. And I guess by then they hadn't killed the Council of Executors, the Seven. So that makes sense. So were the Warframes were forged by the Orokin? By the Council as weapons? Why do I feel like I should know this by now? I feel like I should. And I'm sorry, but I feel like I should know. Right, that's the one question I'm going to ask you guys. Did the Orokin, did the Council of Seven, or the Orokin, or the Council of Executors, which I believe is the Seven, make the Warframes? And then when the children, the Tenno, got their powers, were they able to use those void powers to take control of these Warframes? Is that it? Have I got that? I feel like that. I feel like I'm on the right track with that. I could, but you never know with Warframe. You never know. I will have a look at related because I have a plethora of platinum, and that is not Ivara. That is Necros. Again, not Ivara. Oh. Okay, alright, now we're going to have to look. I might let you guys design her for me. I might let you guys describe to me in the comments what you want to see on my next Ivara, on my next Warframe, and then go from there. Is she ready? Is she ready? Is it complete? Where is she? I feel like she should be ready to come. Oh, she's ready to claim. Oh, she's ready to claim. Yes, so we're obviously going to need to claim that. We're going to claim Dread, and we're going to claim the Ether Daggers. However, I am aware that I can't use them till Mastery level 8. Which we're fairly close to. We're getting there. Cool. Alright guys, well, I'm going to leave it there. I've been recording nearly an hour going through those 3. We will continue the last 3 at a later date. I think the next episode of the actual series, not the lore so much, but of the series, is going to be claiming Dread, Ivara, the Ether Daggers, and reacting to Ivara, seeing what she's all about, because I'm excited about that frame. That was a frame that I was really excited for. As well as Wukong, don't get me wrong, I was excited about Wukong, I did like Wukong. And then we're going to have to look at some colours. We're going to have to look at some skins. You're going to have to tell me what you guys want to see. Let me know. And then I think we're gonna try her out on some Oxium Osprey, as you say in the comments, because they are the ones holding the Oxium that I need for the Mantis shuttle. And my God, don't we need an awful lot of it? I believe we need a ton. Yeah, we need just so much. That's going to be the hardest bit, I think. I think the Argon crystals is going to be pretty simple. Circuits, maybe? But I think they just come and go. Plastids is going to be a little bit of a grind, but not too much. It's just the Oxium, because I know the Oxium is going to be slow anyway. The Plastids, Argon, and Circuits, I'm pretty sure are pretty much guaranteed as long as you do a mission once or twice, or 3 times. So yeah, alright guys, well, let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed the lore series up to this point. Let me know if there is anything else I need to react to. Obviously, we are going to come back to the Leverian stories and finish off Gauss, Nova, and Ash. And then, you know, I might start looking through this codex. I might start having a look and figuring out everything. Yeah, alright guys, well, I'm going to head off. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. As I say, give me some feedback on the specs as well. I know they look a bit big, but you'll get used to it. Yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.